happy Thursday. Hope you are all doing well. I was inspired to share my thoughts on creativity with you today. That is the subject that I've been talking about in all of my podcasts, in all of my posts, and the more I think about it, the more I talk about it, the more it goes deeper and more evolved, and it becomes multifaceted aspect that represents the entire purpose of life. Creativity is the purpose of life. Me being an artist, of course, for me, it represents a huge portion of my life because you can't be an artist without creativity. But I also want to emphasize that creativity exists in everybody. Every single person has some sort of creativity. The only reason people think that they are not creative is because they have a belief that they are not creative. They created some kind of belief in themselves. So that's the use of creativity as well. When you absorb certain beliefs from your environment and then you create assumptions, you are involving yourself in the process of creativity. It's just creativity that doesn't serve your higher good in the end. But the point is, every single person has some version of creativity that is unique to them. It is something that makes you feel inspired, something that uplifts you, something that gives you joy. And joy really is underestimated. We have created so many beliefs and systems in order to control the population, in order to control the people, that joy is not something to be followed for. It's not something to be going after, because if you follow joy and you're feeling happy, you will have some kind of negative consequences. How many ideas and concepts can you think of in your own reality that prevent you from going and doing something that you truly, fully passionate, enjoying, and it makes you feel inspired, but you're afraid that it's going to have some kind of negative result, some kind of negative consequence? If, let's say, you want to go and paint the painting, you're afraid that you're going to forget the time, or other people will be angry at you for missing appointments, or something bad will happen. That is the biggest block to any version of creativity. When you feel like you can't move forward because you have fenced yourself off. In order to exist in this society, we all have to follow the rules. We have to belong, and the way we learned to belong in the society is to create and adopt those beliefs that make us feel like we are accepted. And if we are stepping outside of those beliefs, it means that we are going to be ostracized. Nobody wants to be ostracized. We find comfort and joy in being fenced in being limited, because then we are loved, we're accepted, we are included. And if we are actually following our passion, following our creativity, we will certainly be ostracized. People will leave us. We will end up with no money. That's kind of the idea of the struggling artist and the starving artist comes from. And so how many people are actually following their passions? How many people are actually following their creative directive, their creative inspiration? Not many. That is unfortunate, but now the times are changing. In the last 4 years, we have experienced so much change in the world that showed us, plain and simple, what things that are not working. So the question then becomes, are we going to insist on trying to go back to those ideas and beliefs and the systems and structures that were not working? Or are we going to step up and try to discern what is giving us joy? What are we passionate about? What kind of creativity exists within us? And follow that, because that is the communication from your higher self. I was listening to Bashar lately, that is the channeled entity, very amazing content. And the concept is your personality is not supposed to know how things happen. That's what's been talked about in Secret. The feeling is the secret. You're not supposed to know how. Tony Robbins talks about how is none of your business. Every thought leader and every speaker out there tells you that the process, the how, is none of your business. You can't know it consciously. You can't plan in order to go to the where you want to go. You can only have this idea and feeling in mind. Follow your passion and creativity, and that will create the circumstances and synchronicities and alignment so that you can get there, but you won't know how you got there. Well, you will find out how, so you will be able to experience, but you won't be able to plan it and schedule it and control it. That is one of the things that all of us have an issue with: control. We want to control. And that comes from the ego personality. The ego personality is such a fragile construct that it always tries to control everything. It is terrified of any outside influence because it is this construct essentially designed to experience this reality. And in itself, it has no power. And sometimes if it realizes that, then it becomes terrified and tries to double down on the control. And so that is when the surrender and letting go comes into play. If you've ever read David Hawkins' book of Letting Go, if you've read Eckhart Tolle, Letting Go and New Earth and all of those books, you know that the spiritual leaders talk about letting go and surrendering to your higher self. You're not surrendering to something that is not you. You're just aligning with your own self. It's not somebody else who's trying to control you. You're not giving up your power to some other entity. You're just aligning with your own self. There's nothing scary about that. But the beliefs that we have come up with, the ideas that we grew up with and inherited from others and adopted as our own in order to belong in the society, that's what created this blockages to our creativity. So that is the point. The creativity exists in every single person. That is the way that the life force expresses itself through an individual. And it could be a variety of things. It could be gardening, it could be landscaping, it could be drawing, it could be painting, of course, it could be standard types of artistic activity, it could be dance, it could be music, but it also could be writing. It could be talking to other people. It could be making of something with your hands, woodworking, anything. Growing trees, raising animals, helping planet, whatever. Creativity comes in all forms and all shapes and sizes. The only difference is that are you able to discern and hear that and identify that this is your creativity, or are you going to be sticking to the boxes that have been provided? A creative is a person who paints with a paintbrush on the canvas and you can see the result right away. Well, that would be very limited definition. Or is the creative a musician who plays the piano and they play at the concerts and many people see them playing piano? That is the creative and that is an artist. Well, that is also another very limited definition. So it is up to you to identify which area of multiple dimensions and varieties you are creative in and start following that guidance of your inner voice and your inner feelings and doing that. So that's my message for today. I'm feeling very inspired to talk about creativity and it's my passion. So I am following my passion by sharing you about creativity and about the passion. So in a closed loop cycle, it works for me, and trust this was helpful for you as well. And I wish you a great day. And if you have questions, let me know. If you need help identifying your own passion and how to follow your own creativity, how to unblock it, let me know. Connect as a peak performance coach. That is what I do with people. That is what I do with my clients. I help them align with their own higher self and identify what their passion is so that they can go forward fully immersed and aligned in their own creativity. So if that's something that interests you, let me know. Otherwise, I will see you next time. Bye.